Dobar dan i veliki pozdrav svim gledalcima Arena Fight. Dobrodošli u još jedan Arena Fight intervju. Mislim da ne treba mnogo vremena da predstavljam našeg današnjeg gosta, dovoljno je reći Triple C, dvostruki UFC šampion i olimpijski šampion iz 2008. godine, Henry Cejudo. Henry, first of all, thanks for taking time to speak for Arena Fight TV.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. And thank you for making the flight all the way over here.
First of all, before we start talking, I must congratulate you on the wedding. How's the marriage life treating you right now on the honeymoon?
It's hard already. No, but it's great. It's great. Me and my wife have been together for the last 6 years. We're already married, but having the ceremony makes it just a little more official.
Yeah, and the honeymoon here in Kotor in Montenegro.
Yeah, honeymoon here with you guys, late night.
Right now, as I said, we're in Kotor in Montenegro at TKO seminar. You're one of the lead coaches with Coach Nato Subotić, with Luka Jelčić, with Christian Radović as well. So this is your first time here. How do you like it?
Oh, I love it, man. I had no idea there's such a place so magical like Montenegro. You know, it's like, the only way to describe it is like you live in a valley, but instead of it just being like land, there's water. So I believe it's all the Mediterranean here, but it's like very hidden. Like you're not in the coast of the Mediterranean. The water just comes and it flows wherever it flows. And I'm still interested to see a map on how everything kind of happens. So it's been good, great hospitality, great food. You know, I've been all over the world, but I've never seen a city like this. Like it's a mountainous city actually, because there's the water is there, so everybody kind of lives, you know, on top of the mountains and the coast of the mountains, which is something different. It reminds me a lot like Hawaii over here.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. And how you like the seminar, the young fighters that are training with you? You had one exercise outside right now in the arena. How do you like it?
No, I love it. Today I taught them a lot of stuff that made me a world champion against Demetrius Johnson. I taught them an inside trip to one side, inside trip to the other, top control. And then yesterday I had a good little time with them to show them some takedown entries. Because I feel like that's why, I feel like anybody could strike and everybody could be good at striking, but not everybody could really understand wrestling.
We're going to talk about inside trip later, but I think we need to talk about the news. You're going to show that inside trip, I'm sure, at July 11th, am I right? You're fighting with Merab Dvalishvili.
Yeah, I believe it's RAF 11. And yeah, I'm going to be going up against Merab Dvalishvili, somebody who had beat me before. We had he beat me pretty good. His nickname, the Machine. He's definitely a machine. So, but when I got offered that wrestling match, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. We're supposed to do it a couple months before.
I think in February, yeah.
Yeah, but I had an injury. I don't want to say what it is, but I had an injury and I had to pull out the last minute. So now I'm going all the way to Georgia and I'm staying here in Europe to wrestle him. Yeah. So I'm excited for that.
You had your debut against Faber in RAF. So how do you like it right now? You're back on the mat. You retired from MMA last year, but you're still in the competition.
Yeah, no, I love it, man. I think it is. You know, I'm done fighting, man. I thought I was even done wrestling, but man, what Real American Freestyle is doing to the sport, it's really taking the sport to go professional. You know, and I think you know, having guys like UFC fighters who come in and Olympic champions and people and other fighters that are well known is crazy. It's just crazy for me to say that I'm the main event over Kyle Snyder and, you know, Rashid Sabdulayev. They're both Olympic champions, multiple-time world champions. That's probably the greatest rivalry of all time. And these guys are co-main event.
Triple C is the main.
Right. You know, Merab's a UFC champion. I'm a UFC champion, but nothing really beats an Olympic title, especially in the sport of wrestling. So I am honored.
Yeah, so then we need to talk about wrestling right now. You had a tremendous career in wrestling, but let's talk about the beginnings. Who inspired you as a young kid? Is that your brother who had like incredible high school career, I think 150 fights without losses?
Yeah, my brother Angel was a big inspiration for me. But not just him, but other people too. I remember watching TV watching a lot of these guys become Olympic champions, it really inspired me, man, as a little kid. And then once I found the sport, it was all I wanted to do, man. Just wrestle, just hide in wrestling, do everything in wrestling. So, and I eventually became the best in the world. I'll never forget leaving home at such a young age. I was a junior in high school, leaving everything behind to chase the dream. And then, you know, becoming the best in the world. It's surreal, man, now that I'm here today and I've been able to accomplish everything that I set out to do. It just means the world to me.
You achieved everything very, very young. Like you were 21 years old when you became the Olympic gold champion. Like I think you were the youngest one to do it. After that, Snyder did it in like 20 years, I think. That's all.
Yeah.
Like you were the first one with 21 years old.
Yeah, I broke a 30-some-year-old record, and he broke an 8-year-old record. You know, but you know, records are meant to be broken. You know, when you work hard and you do everything you got to do to be the best in the world, I mean, success will come so much quicker than you could ever imagine.
When you realized, in which point of your wrestling career, that the Olympic gold isn't just a dream, that you can achieve it very soon?
When, ever since I was a kid, man, I believed that it was possible. But it started becoming more of a reality when I moved to the Olympic Training Center, and I started wrestling some of the high level wrestlers, and I'm just like, bro, if I do this for 4 years, I could make an Olympic team, you know, win a gold medal. And that's pretty much exactly what happened.
And you won it in 2008, but then you said you were going to take a break from wrestling. You came back in 2010, 2011 to try to go in the Olympics once again, but you didn't make it at that time.
Yeah, I was, you try to kind of make another team to kind of just see if you still want to do it. And then I didn't make the team. I made it all the way to the semis, and then I lost. And then I ended up, you know, transitioning from there. I was like, I want to fight MMA. I want to do UFC. I was done with wrestling, but I want to do mixed martial arts now. And that's kind of what led to everything else.
And you started very well, few fights, few wins, and the contract in 2014, I think, this is your debut. And you became, I think, the third athlete that won the Olympic gold, then switched to UFC after Schultz and I think Johnson. I don't know.
Yeah, Kevin Jackson.
Kevin Jackson.
Yeah. But even till today, I'm still the only Olympic champion and UFC champion in UFC history.
I was trying to tell that later when we talk about Dimitri Johnson, but never mind. You said it first.
Yeah, yeah, but it was something that I've always set out to do. It was something that I've always been that person that when you talk about somebody trying to reach for the stars, like that's been me.
You started very well. Within 2 years, you got a title shot against Mighty Mouse, but we need to talk about him a little. He's probably the best flyweight ever, and the first UFC flyweight champion.
Yeah,
here's the second one, and in the first fight, it didn't go as planned.
Yeah, and I think that's what's made me. I think it humbled me too, because I thought I was gonna go in there and beat the brakes off of Demetrius Johnson, but I wasn't ready. I had a big hole, and that was, you know, my body. So he was able to beat me up to the body, and you know how embarrassing that is to be able to see 20,000 people there, and I was the co-main event under John Jones. Everybody saw me, you know, get beat up, get knocked out, 2 minutes and 36 seconds, but I think that was the biggest blessing that I had. I was able to learn from that, and it put a chip on my shoulder. And I did everything that I could to be the best in the world, traveled the world, started a whole new team, humbled myself, and then I came back to finally get a rematch with them. Yeah,
you got the revenge, but we need to talk about the period between the two matches. You were the coach in the 24th season of the Ultimate Fighter against Benavides. How was that experience in the Ultimate Fighter?
Oh, I didn't like it because I didn't know the entertainment side. Like looking back at it now, like I would have probably done a lot of other things just different. But it was just different, man. I didn't like it. I didn't. That wasn't the Triple C then. What I am now. I was trying to be nice, politically correct, do the whole nine. But then I knew that the sport was just different, because when you're an Olympic champion, you gotta hold yourself to a standard like nobody else. But I love the fact of what I was able to create. Created the King of Cringe character, like the whole nine. And I think that really that allowed me to do that. But so I ended up losing to Benavides, so that was 2 in a row. And then I think that's when I just thought, hey man, this is enough. I'm going to go on the biggest run that you guys have ever seen. So I kind of became like Ash Ketchum from Pokemon. And I started going everywhere to learn from the best. And then 2.5 years later, I finally get another shot at Demetrius Johnson after beating the #1 contender and the #3 contender at the time. And then, I couldn't be denied again.
You took the revenge and you took the belt. That's the most important. As you said, then you became the first champion that holds the Olympic gold and the UFC belt. And as you said at the start of this interview, you did a tremendous job with Inside Trip.
Yeah. So I was able to do that. The cool thing about fighting Demetrius Johnson is I beat him in the exact area that he beat me the first time. But this time I was just more experienced. I respected him a little bit more. And when I was able to do that, I'm just like, all right, this is what it is. This is what it is.
5 heavy rounds. I think it was the fight of the night at that event. You got the bonus as well. But the most important, you finally got the belt. And very soon after that, you moved up the category and won the belt in bantamweight division. And then the nickname Triple C came out.
Yeah.
Was that the moment when you realized, like, this is my prime, this is my peak, or you were like, it's just the beginning?
No. I think at that moment, I just knew that I already did everything that I had to do. What do you think Khabib retired? You want to retire on top. And that was my whole motive. But, once you have kids, everything changes. It's not how life works. So I came back because I want my family to live a good life. But if it was up to me and if I had Khabib money, I would have probably never came back, because as a champion, especially as an Olympic champion, a 2-division champion, there's nothing like leaving on top, But then I came back and, those are the decisions you make for family. I never did it for money. I did it for family. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see how that's different?
Got it.
You see how that's different? And it is what it is, man. Like I'm humbled by it too. But I also knew the circumstances of what could happen. I completely changed lifestyles. I became a husband, became a dad, not just 1 kid, 2 kids. Like my life is different.
So we can see that retirement is final.
Yeah, it's final. It's final. Yeah, I'm not.
It's definitely.
I'm 39 years old, man. I'm
MMA
39 years old. I'm just, I'm ready. I love business. There's a lot of things that I want to do in business that I really love and things like that. So
then we need to talk about your definitely last MMA fight. It was against Peyton Talbot, your former student. And we need to mention again the Inside Trip, because it was shocking to me. I was doing the commentary for Arena Fight TV, and I was like stunned when I saw that he did an Inside Trip to you, and you both fell on the ground. He started celebrating as well. He was like, "Oh my God, I put the teacher down."
Yeah.
What was going through your mind? Were you like, I taught him this?
Yeah, exactly, man. I remember teaching Peyton. If I remember correctly, I remember I taught him that. So then when he was able to do that to me, I'm just like, all right, man. Here you go. You gotta pass the torch. And Payne's good, man. If he plays his cards right, he could become the best in the world, man. Very fast, very lanky for that weight class. And I was hurting him too with leg kicks in the beginning. But it was just the youth, man. That's the time off, the uncommitment of what I used to bring to the table. It's just the desire, just none of that was really there. I think me in shape, me with desire, I don't think there's nobody in the world that can beat me. But me not in shape, not necessarily desire, I think anybody could have beat me.
So maybe talk about that then. Here comes the question. Who was the more toughest guy? Henry Cejudo that was chasing first belt or the second belt? What do you think?
Henry Cejudo, that was probably chasing the second belt, because I saw myself growing and getting better and more time. But then once you realize that, once you make it, you're like, all right, dude, the money's not worth the legacy. and that's why I left. And the reality is, I'm the type of person that when I conquer, I like to move on to new challenges. So I moved on to business, but then I realized too that the easiest way to make money, the fastest way, the easiest way to make money is by fighting what I do best.
Yeah.
So came back, lost to Aljamain Sterling, split decision. Like I did my best, dude. And then from there it was just Marab. Like I fought nothing but killers, bro. There was no easy fights for me. And then Song poked me in the eye, which I still have a scar like today. Every once in a while, like if there's pollution, like my eye will turn red because of the scar tissue.
Yeah,
I think the scariest part about mixed martial arts is losing your eye.
Yeah.
Or your eyes.
Yeah, we can see that UFC do not have solution for the eye pokes still.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah, no, you get a warning, so I think everybody should do it.
Yeah.
They're just gonna warn you now. Like I wish I would have just took that approach too. Oh, there you go. There goes my eye. Oh, you get a warning. No, no.
So finally, you retired, but in MMA, but in wrestling, you're still competing. And what the future holds for Henry Cejudo? How many fights in RAF?
Yeah. I don't know yet, man. I wanna have fun with this. I wanna make sure that I get the right matchups. But I want to promote the sport, man. Wrestling has done so much for me. Even though I do want to move on and just stick to business, and they know that. They knew that. I'm just like, guys. But there's a price to everything. And you give that right price, and I'm doing it. Especially the right opponent. I like this matchup against Marab in Georgia. I wanted this fight. I think it's even better that's in his home country now. Just imagine when I beat him and it's in his home crowd. Or, it could go the other way. You never know, dude. Yeah. But I'm going to prepare. I'm going to train hard and be ready for July 11th and take his head with me. July
11th is a big day for MMA as well. You two are fighting in RAF, then a few hours later, the Conor is back. Yeah. Conor McGregor is back, the Notorious.
The return of Conor McGregor. Yeah, I know everybody messes.
What do you think about it?
I think it's good. I think it's good for MMA. I think Conor coming back. I'm not sure if Conor's going to be able to put a guy like Max away, but he possibly could, man, because Max did get beat up. He did get clocked and knocked out by Ilya.
And there's no knockdown against Gage as well, so his training started.
Yeah. So if Conor could finish him early, good. If he can't, I think Max Holloway's going to finish him.
One more big event in UFC in like 10 days, the White House. What do you think about UFC White House?
I think it's good, man. I think it's good for the sport. President Trump is a big fan of the mixed martial arts. They're spending crazy amount of money for what they're doing. So I think it's gonna be really good for the sport. Draw more attention, bring more attention to the sport, more eyes. And the cool thing about fighting is it gives opportunity to anybody. You don't gotta be a 7-foot giant to be a basketball player, to be a fighter. I'm sorry. You can be a triple C. You can be 5'4", of twisted steel and sex appeal, and actually do it. You can be a different color. You can come from the best background or the worst background. The reason why people love fighting is because it's the closest thing to life and death. And I think that's why people enjoy it more than anything.
I have one more question about the White House. If Alex Pereira get the belt,
Sham!
Can he use the nickname Triple C? Because he's going to be the first Triple C in UFC history.
No, because that's an interim belt. You got to be undisputed. You got to be undisputed.
But if he confirms it against Aspinall?
Aspinall, then sure. We can share nicknames. But it's always got to be undisputed. Anything, those belts, they do not exist. They don't exist. They should probably give a medal. You're the number one contender.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But if he does do it, man, he puts himself in. If he's able to beat Cyril Gane and then Tom, he puts himself in elite category. But I'm curious to see that. I think out of all the fights, I think that's the fight that I'm more curious about. What is it that Alex is going to do, and could he get it done? Because I think a lot of people are favoring probably Ilya. I'm going for Justin. But if Justin gets it done, that makes the story that much better. But that's a big fight.
And one more topic about the UFC. The UFC is finally coming to Serbia at the beginning of August the 1st. What do you think about that?
I like it, man. You guys are coming to that whole region. Has the UFC been to Croatia?
Yeah, it was like 10 years ago.
Okay, so they've been to
Exactly,
Croatia, so now it's Serbia. Okay, and then maybe the next one, maybe with the help of the Triple C and Christian, maybe we can bring it to Montenegro.
Why not? I think everyone here would love it. Love to see that.
Yeah.
And one last thing, what would you like to address to the audience of Arena Fight TV?
Yeah, no, I just want to say thank you to all the fans, everybody who watches mixed martial arts. You know, I think the beauty about fighting is everybody has a story, everybody has a mission, everybody sacrifices to get where they are today. And I feel like, you know, if you guys ever desire to be a fighter, you could do it too. As brutal as it sounds, because I think that's how it starts. It starts off by you being a fan. And you can slowly you can go from a fan to an actual player, to an actual fighter. So the destination, the dream is up to you. Don't be afraid to go after it, whether it's fighting or anything that has to do with chasing the dream. Good luck from the Triple C. We out!
Thank you, Henry, so much. Hvala i vama, poštovani gledalci, što ste bili uz nas i ispratili ovaj Arena Fight intervju. Ostanite naravno uz najbolji borilački kanal Arena Fight, više od borbe.